Welcome back to EWS Sports. This is Daniel. I'm Jake. We're here with our guest picker, David. Let's get started.
We're doing our Week 14 preview. We're going to start off with our Heisman picks. At number 5, I got Marcus Mariota. He dropped for me because of his first 2 interceptions last week. What are you thinking, Jake?
All right. Well, I dropped Marcus Mariota out of my Heisman race, and I put in his last opponent, Kadeem Carey. Carey's just been amazing. He ran all over Oregon, a great defense. He had 206 yards, 4 TDs. He's just looked incredible.
At 5, I got Johnny Manziel. This guy's really dropped. He's not really what he was last year. I was watching his game. He's just overthrowing guys. This guy's just not a Heisman this year.
I'm surprised you have him in your Heisman. I don't have him in my Heisman, but my number 4 is A.J. McCarron, leading the undefeated Bama offense, 68.6% completion percentage. He's been great.
Yeah, 4, I have Andre Williams, the running back for Boston College. He's put up over 2,000 rushing yards on the season. He has 16 rushing TDs. This guy's just been great. He's leading the ACC in rushing.
At 4, I got Jordan Lynch. I was talking to my friend earlier today. He mentioned him. And he was telling me about his passing yards and his rushing yards, which he's leading his team in both categories. Reminds me of Neefield here. So we got a little Jordan Lynch, and he's pretty good. So we'll see what happens then.
Yeah, he's been good. He barely dropped out of mine. I was going to put him at 5, but I had to include Mariota. My 3rd is Bryce Petty, who actually had a pretty solid game in their loss to Oklahoma State, over 300 passing yards, and he still only has 1 interception.
Yeah, 3, I have Johnny Football. He's doing great. He's leading all of our Heisman candidates in passing yards with 3,537. Those interceptions will kill him, and they have so far.
And at 3, I have Derek Carr. I don't really know much about him. I was doing some research on him earlier, and they had him pretty high. So, I can't really say anything else about that except he's David's brother. Learned a lot.
Yeah, he's leading an undefeated Fresno State.
Yeah, I have Derek Carr at number 2, 2nd in the nation in passing yards. He's only 57 yards shy of 4,000 passing yards.
I truly think that's a little high, Daniel. But 2, I have Jordan Lynch. Not only is he leading his team in rushing yards, he's leading the whole FBS in rushing yards for a quarterback. This guy's just been outstanding. He's combined his passing with his rushing. He's a great dual-threat quarterback, and he's leading an undefeated team.
Steve Feldman, I hear what you're saying, but he plays for North Illinois. I'm putting at number 2, A.J. McCarron. This guy's Alabama. This guy's leading undefeated Alabama. We'll see what he does this week against Auburn. But, McCarron, this guy's just solid. No one talks about him in the Heisman as much. But McCarron is a guy who could really sneak in here and win it.
Yeah. I think McCarron deserves to be up there. I think we all have the same number 1, that's Jameis Winston.
Yeah, he's
Am I right?
Yeah, he's been great.
All of Winston.
He has over 3,000 passing yards, 32 passing TDs, a whopping 92.6 QB rating. This guy's just been sensational, leading a number 2, Florida State.
What else can we say?
Yeah,
not much else.
He's just outstanding.
Yeah, he's great. Let's go to our picks on. We got 9 games this week, a lot of good games.
It's rivalry week.
So we're gonna start off Arizona State. Quick thoughts.
Quick thoughts. State, gotta go State. Beat 20 Wisconsin, 20 Washington, 14 UCLA. Head of the pack in the South. They got a great running back, averaging almost 6 yards a game. They killed USC earlier. Gotta go Arizona State.
I don't agree with you, David. Danker and Carey have combined for over 3,500 yards and 30 TDs combined. They've just been an outstanding backfield, and I look for them to be great in the long run.
Completely agree with you, Jake. It's all Carey. He'll carry the load here.
Oh, good one.
Next game, we got Florida State at Florida. At the Swamp. What are your thoughts, David?
Thoughts are Florida State. Winston. That's all I really have to say. And then another thing, Florida lost against a team that had no passing yards last week. And that's just completely ridiculous for me.
I agree. Go Seminoles.
I don't know why we included this game.
The defense, most the defense is allowed is 34 points. That was to Boston College. They're just outstanding.
Yeah, Florida's going with their 3rd-string quarterback. Murphy's likely out. So there's no chance, 0 chance for Florida. Next, we're going to go to Los Angeles. Big rivalry here, UCLA at USC. Jake, why don't you start?
Well, this is a very evenly matched. I mean, USC, they're 5-1 at the Coliseum, including a win over Stanford. I mean, I just look for them to win versus Brett Hundley from UCLA.
David?
I mean, I don't know how this is even a question. It's USC because we got Cody Kessler with 15 TDs, 6 picks, Trey Madden averaging about 5 rushing yards. And this, I mean, call me when UCLA beats another ranked team besides the 23 ranked Nebraska at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
I mean, this team just cannot beat ranked teams. And so I think we're forgetting this game's at USC, too.
I agree.
I agree with you also. Ed Orgeron, interim head coach, is 5-1 so far. I think he deserves the job.
Yeah, he does. And next, we will go to Palo Alto, where the Fighting Irish and Notre Dame will take on Stanford. Who you got?
I have Stanford in this one. I mean, I had a quote, someone came up to me today and they said, Notre Dame is actually poop. That person was Brandon Roseman, and I feel like I agree with him.
Yeah.
Stanford's 5-5, 5 for 5 against ranked teams. They're playing at home. This is just high-powered offense, good defense.
I agree. Tommy Rees has 5 interceptions in his last 3 games, so I got to go with Stanford and their defense.
Yeah, I agree with both of you. I mean, Stanford has beat teams like Arizona State, Washington, UCLA, Oregon State, and even Oregon. I mean, they've just looked outstanding. They have 2 bad losses, but the rest, they've played outstanding.
So let's go to Texas A&M at Missouri. Texas A&M trying to recover from a bad loss to LSU.
I'm going to go with Mizzou in this one. I mean, I think that 6-1 in the best conference in college football, and we've seen this throughout the year that A&M's defense is just not good. It's just not good at all.
It's an overstatement. They're awful.
They're horrible. So if you can't stop this offense, I don't know how they're going to win the game. It could be a shootout, but I think Mizzou's going to come up with it.
Yeah, Daniel?
Yeah, I'm right with you. I agree.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, with James Franklin back, they're a completely different team. And plus, Missouri's giving up less than 20 points per game. They have a great defense, followed by great offense, great wideouts. I mean, I think Missouri's going to win.
So let's go to Columbia. Clemson takes on South Carolina. Connor Shaw has thrown only 1 interception, and I love his running game too. So I'm going to have to go with South Carolina in the upset. Mike Davis, 10 touchdowns rushing for South Carolina. But the X factors, as always, Sammy Watkins. Like the one team that beat Clemson this year, who was Florida State, held Watkins to only 68 yards. So what do y'all think?
Sorry, Lana, but I think I'm going to disagree with you on this one. I think Clemson's Taj Boyd is just too good. I mean, you're forgetting that this guy has 29 TDs, 8 rushing TDs. This guy can score, and he's a great offensive player. He's versatile. And so I think that they're going to win this game over South Carolina. They're ranked higher, I think, for a reason.
Let me say something. You know he has 25 sacks this season, and they're playing against Davian Clowney?
I do know that, and that's a tough, that's a tough response. I just think Clemson, I think he's a good enough quarterback to read the rush, escape the pocket. I know you can kind of see from which side Clowney's on and favor one side more than the other.
Yeah, I also have to go with South Carolina on this game. I mean, they're rested from last week from playing Coastal Carolina, which was a blowout. A lot of their starters were taken out early. I mean, Clemson lost to Florida State, and that is the only ranked team Clemson's played so far this year. And, I mean, I just don't know how they'll handle South Carolina.
Yeah, it would be a fun game to watch.
Yeah, and next we go to Auburn in the Iron Bowl. The Alabama Crimson Tide with the championship game on the line, even the SEC championship game on the line, will face number 4 Auburn.
Would you like to start us out, David?
Yeah, I'll start us out. I think Bama's going to take this one for a couple reasons. First off, there's just more experience in this Bama team. I mean, this team has won 2 national championships in a row, 4, I think, in the last 5 years. They're a good, high-powered offense, good defense. I mean, C.J. Mosley, linebacker, good linebacker, and that core that D. And so I just feel like Nick Saban is going to know how, he's been in a lot of games like this, he's going to know how to stop this Auburn offense and navigate around the D.
You're a natural, David. Alabama's defense is too good. Auburn, who got lucky 2 weeks ago against Georgia in that Hail Mary pass. It's all Bama here, who lets up only 9.3 points per game.
I agree. Bama, Roll Tide. Bama's 4-0 versus ranked teams this year. They have the best defense in the nation. Auburn had to play Georgia last week, so they're pretty roughed up. Alabama had to play Chattanooga, so they're well rested. And I think Bama can pull this out.
Let me just add this note. Nick Marshall had about 230 passing yards 2 weeks ago against the Georgia defense, who gives up an average of 20 more points per game than Alabama. So how will he handle that? And our last game, Ohio State at Michigan. Huge rivalry here.
Yeah.
I have a feeling we're going to have a disagreement.
Yeah. Why don't you go first, Dan?
I'll go first, and I really want Michigan to win this game. I really do, but they're not going to. Devin Gardner is he's so inconsistent.
Attaboy.
Ohio State, they'll win this game.
Yeah. David?
You know, Daniel, I'm going to strongly disagree with you on that one because
Strongly.
there's a reason why I think
Strong.
Michigan's going to win this game, and the reason is this. Michigan may not have had the best season this year. They may not be top-ranked team playing for a bowl game. But I think what everyone's forgetting is this is Michigan's bowl game. This is Michigan's championship game. Ohio State versus Michigan. They wait for this all year. I know Hope will have his guys prepared. And this is what we're waiting for. I think you're forgetting it's also in the big house. This is not Ohio State's little poopy stadium. We're playing in the big house. A lot of fans. This is what we're waiting for. And I think Gardner is a guy who likes to step up and make big plays, big situations. We also have a freshman running back, Green. This guy's a ground and pound guy. This guy's going to get yards and a lot of yards. He's going to run over that Ohio State D. And I just think, I know what Jake's going to tell me about that Ohio State running back, but I'm going to answer back with Jake Ryan, linebacker, experience, been in games like this, great player, big hitter. This D, I think they can handle it. It's going to be a close game. I think go blue. I think Michigan's going to win us.
Dude, what you're forgetting is Ohio State looks forward to beating Michigan. And they have in the past, and that's not going to change. But look, Ohio State has won most of these games. Michigan's won one game in the past, 8 years? That's not going to change. I mean, a couple of those were at the Big House, a couple of those were at Buckeye Stadium. That's not going to change. Ohio State has a great backfield this year. They have in the past. I mean, Carlos Hyde and Braxton Miller, they've just been outstanding. Fitz Toussaint, Michigan running back, I mean, he just hasn't looked as good as he normally does. He's averaged 12 yards in the past 3 games. Gardner's only averaging 173 in the past 3 games. I mean, I think the Buckeyes are going to win and beat the team up north.
See, I'm going to disagree again because I feel like that Gardner is a guy who's going to flush out of the pocket. We've seen him do this many times. And then we got this, I mean, this team is not going to go down without a fight.
You have to realize, Ohio State is the better team in this. I don't care if Michigan is at home. Ohio State is the much better team.
I
They're
agree.
third in the country.
I agree, and Ohio State
They're going to
plays.
stay like that. The
Oh,
championship game is on the line for them.
I agree.
They know that.
And Ohio State's had a really, really tough schedule this year.
Honestly,
Said
Michigan
no one
has
ever.
nothing.
A tough schedule.
And also, another thing I'd like to say about that is that how did Ohio State play in the bowl game last year? Oh wait, they didn't play in a bowl game. Basically what I'm trying to say is that Michigan wants to beat Ohio State, and they will do all that they can to. I'm telling you that. Gardner, he's going to throw for 380 yards. Green's going to run for 100.
Ohio
This is
State
all
is
blue.
like-
Okay, we gotta go. This is
Ohio
EWS
State.
Sports Podcasting.